I have in my hands a copy of paragraph 237 of the new encyclical letter from the Pope Francesco. It's called Laudato Si. Praise be to him. That's the title of this encyclical letter. It's dated May 24, 2015, published by the Vatican Press. And this document states that Sunday should be a day of rest. And even as in the Old Testament, the Sabbath was legislated among the Jews as a day of rest, so today, Sunday needs to be legislated as a day of rest. And that by causing Sunday to be a rest day around the world, it will help the environment. And it will also help those that are poor. He claims that on Sunday our participation in the Eucharist has special importance. Sunday, like the Jewish Sabbath, is meant to be a day which heals our relationships with God, with ourselves, with others, and with the world. Sunday is the day of the resurrection. It proclaims the eternal rest of God. In this way, Christian spirituality incorporates the value of relaxation and festivity. And he goes on, the Pope goes on to say, the law of weekly rest forbade work on the seventh day, so that your ox and your donkey may have rest, and the son of your maidservant and the stranger may be refreshed. Rest opens our eyes to the larger picture and gives us renewed sensitivity to the rights of others. Notice how he emphasizes that Sunday is a day of rest, just like the Sabbath was legislated in the Old Testament. Sunday needs to be legislated in our modern time. And by keeping Sunday, we respect the rights of others who wish to keep Sunday holy and as a day of rest. And his final sentence in this paragraph is, and so the day of rest, meaning Sunday, centered on the Eucharist, sheds its light on the whole week and motivates us to a greater concern for nature and the poor. Now, this is not in accordance with the teachings of the Bible. We believe that the holy Sabbath day, the seventh day of the week, is the day of rest. The Sabbath means that. Sabbath means rest in Hebrew. It was the special day in which Jesus kept. And we know that today's Sabbath is the same Sabbath that Christ kept, the seventh day of the week, because the Jews don't change. They've kept the calendar of 7 days per week. Do you know the origin of the word Sabbath? Inside this word Sabbath, you find Abba. Abba means father. You have the word Beth or Bath, which means house. It is the house of the Father. And you have the root word sab, which means wisdom, like in Spanish, sabiduría. So those that are wise go on the Sabbath day to the house of the Father. And we read in the fourth commandment that this is the seventh day. We read that Paul kept that day. We read that Jesus, it was his custom to keep that day. And as I look at this Laudato Si, I am encouraged that we're approaching the time of the Sunday law. The Spirit of Prophecy says, the leaders of the Sunday movement may advocate reforms which the people need. We need to save our planet, and that is brought in this encyclical letter. Principles which are in harmony with the Bible, of respecting the earth, of offering rest. Yet while there is with these a requirement which is contrary to God's law, his servants cannot unite with them. Nothing can justify them in setting aside the commandments of God for the precepts of men. That's found in the Great Controversy, page 587. Dear friends, dear brothers and sisters, this is a time for meditation and prayer. Are we ready for the conflict that is approaching as the different political powers around the world follow the papacy? Where will you stand? Will you stand up with God's law and with the example of Christ and the apostles? Or will you follow the winds as they blow? May we follow Jesus. As Joshua said, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Let's serve on that day that even will be kept in heaven. For Isaiah says that from Sabbath to Sabbath, every living being will come to worship the Father. May the peace of Jesus be with you.